Well, I'm anchored. It's 8:30. It's supposed to be thunderstorms tomorrow, but I had to pick a weather window, and the wind's supposed to be favorable. My plans are to go to Put in Bay, spend a little time there, fish dinner, and maybe sail to Canada. We'll see how the weather is. Just got in the water and got rinsed off. I don't know how much filming I can do tomorrow. I just have to see what the weather's going to be like. I got to get underway first. Oops, got a boat wake coming through. So we'll see about tomorrow. Well, we're underway. I got up early. Weather changed. Small craft advisories, but I'm hoping that's going to be for later in the afternoon. I can duck in at Vermilion or Huron or Sandusky Bay if necessary. But I'm figuring it's 6:30, 6:15. What time is it? 7 o'clock, 6:55. That I got a reef in the main, just in case. And man, I could have filmed it all pulling the anchor. I sailed off the anchor. Wind's blowing at 7 right now, and it's a really nice morning. So we'll see if I can get some miles underneath me and get to Put in Bay and some shelter before it gets too interesting. We're talking 25 to 30 this evening. About 2 foot rollers out here. I'm supposed to build the 3 to 5 later, so we'll see. Jenny may have to come in and the jib go out, but right now we're just gonna hoof. Looks like I'm racing a freighter. Just came out of Lorain this morning. I'm going about 2 3/4 miles. 40 minutes. I'm going about 5 miles an hour right now. He's going to pass me. A boat jibed on me while I was sticking my head down below, so I'm going to sit here for a bit and see what the wind's doing. That's a tug that's pushing that. It's not a self-propelled. Kelly's Island, dead ahead. Steering about 300 to 310. And Cedar Point off my port quarter. Getting gray. Thinking about another hour. 8.4. Just kind of guessing on sail trim. Last time I would have been here, geez, I don't know, 15 years old maybe, 16, maybe 14, maybe less than that. I have to look at the pictures that I took. Alright, that'll be it until I probably get a buoy. My hands will be full. Well, what I thought was Perry's Monument wasn't Perry's Monument. Whatever that is. Oh, a rough ride over there. I gotta put this away. Well, I was wrong. The reason I got lost was because as I got closer to the to this, I think this is North Bass right here. And as you get closer, the trees come up and it hid Perry's Monument. So I went a little too far north. Let's see, I'm going to have my hands full when I get in there. I'll probably try to sail in, come about, and grab a buoy. Alright, I'm tied up. A little bit difficult. East exposure, winds out of the east, and there's the entry. So it's going to be choppy in here tonight. There's Mary's Monument. That hasn't changed. They got some construction going on. I got lost. I ended up sailing over to the other side. I had to sail all the way back. Just wasn't familiar enough with the area. Only been here once. And there's the car and people carriers where you can come out of Sandusky or Port Clinton and come over for the day. Wind's supposed to pick up and then switch out of the south. I put 2 lines up there just in case. Oh, pretty good. I tried to snug everything up. I don't hear, there's no noise, there's no flapping, there's no nothing. It's just, so hopefully I'll be able to sleep pretty good tonight. Well, I know the boat's as dry as a bone. We just had pouring rain, not a drop. Windows, hatches. On the Yamas, when you sail the boat hard, put an arm under, the waves splash over, you get a couple of spongefuls out. It's not worth buying new hatches for that. I added some extra sealant, the peel and stick. So tomorrow we'll go ashore and walk around, look at places that I haven't seen for 50 years. There goes one of the ferries. I think I'm going to bring Mia. We'll drive up and after I walk around tomorrow a little bit, work our way around. It's just become very touristy and crowded. But as you can see, there's only one other sailboat in here besides me. The other guy hightailed it over to an area with more protection, but they said the wind was going to switch to the south, and it did. It's not coming up that mouth anymore. So calmed down, almost flat calm the last 15 minutes. Tuesday morning, Put-in Bay. I'm sitting here naked in the cabin after taking a morning swim to rinse off. I'll be headed ashore here in an hour maybe. They have craft advisories for this morning. Potential of water spouts. You got a cold mass and a warm mass mixing. Winds are supposed to be high tonight, 25 to 30. Appears I have a window tomorrow to get back. Otherwise it gets crummy again on Thursday. So yeah, I didn't pick a very good window weather or weather window, but I'll be headed ashore. This place is a small city now. None of this stuff was here. Brought the water taxi ashore. I remember the park. I drank a bottle of grape juice over there. It looked like wine. I got the whole place to myself practically. $29 for a perch platter. Fries and perch. $29. We go to Vermilion and pay $18. Don't be so cheap, Russ. They said the elevator's out because it got struck by lightning. And they won't let you take the stairs anymore because too many people get halfway up and I can't do it, or they have a heart attack. So we'll see. So there was a lightning strike, and because of the age of the elevator system, they still don't have parts. And I guess they're repairing the break wall over here. It's interesting. Oh, there's an aqua dam, it's called. So they've actually got an, I don't know what they've inflated that with. Aqua. So they put those bladders in place, fill them with water, and that gives them a dry area to work with. So no pictures from the observation deck. When I asked to climb the stairs, they don't let you. Jet Express leaving the dock. I think Mama Mia and I will, I don't know, either do that or we'll do Miller's. Well, it wasn't pretty, but I sailed off the ball today. I got to remember to roll that main one way only. I rolled it backwards and I had a twist. So, luckily there was not much wind where I was. Sailing against the ball. We got it fixed and got unhooked and sailed out in the wind shadow. There's definitely a wind shadow on the island there. So, coasted for quite a while. Alright, I got to sail here. I got to get out of here. Shoals and reefs to this. Well, steady as she goes at 100 degrees. Should head us right back into Lorain. And I'm not doing this for YouTube. I'm doing this for my wife. Yeah, I know, it's shaky. That's the best I can do. I made up improvised a little mount to put back there on that solar panel, but I'm not going back there and hanging on, trying to mount that thing. In between the islands here, there's some shallow water. I can't spot it now. There's a shoal with one tree. I don't know if that's it there, pointing at the end of the stick, or if that's a boat. I can't tell. And there's all kinds of rocks. There's sunk boats in here. And you get in here at night, you better know where you're going. That's why I don't come here at night. All by myself, it's too much. I could program my plotter, but I didn't do that. I went out to the north, to the right of that island. I'm not sure what that's called. I'll have to get back. I'll target it later. I believe that shoal is just to the left, to the south of it. Not over here where I was pointing. That is a boat over there, I think. I can't tell from here. That water tower should be Cedar Point. And that, I believe, is Kelly's Island with the antenna. There's smoke, a little smoke this morning, so you can't see the skyline very well. 1 to 3 footers out here. More like 2 to 3 footers. The wind's supposed to die down. Hopefully I get most of the way before that happens. That's enough. Been sailing for about 52 minutes, 6.5 miles. Got a little lull here. Typically sailing between 8 to 11. Right now I'm sitting at, I was at 4, now I'm back up to 7.2. Just got in a little dead spot there. A little bit of surf. 110 degrees. 100 degrees. Should be headed us right towards Lorain. I need to adjust my nav unit, my auto steer. Alright. Hopefully the winds keep up so we can get more of this distance covered. It's supposed to die off this afternoon. Not sure if you can see it, but there's a can. It looks like it's red, but am I red-green? I got to watch for it. And there were a couple other coming out, but those are your guide cans for going into Put-in Bay, stay in the deep water. If you're going up, I believe that's the South Passage. And again, I'm a rookie at this. But since that's to the south, that makes sense. I'm out to the north. something to eat. I think I spotted the other buoy for the South Passage going in. That one's white. It looks white anyway. Sorry I didn't make my bed this morning. Charger on. 15 is just the battery charge mode for my lithium. Well, I keep hitting the buttons. I don't know if I recorded this or not. I gotta do it again. The cabinet, toiletries, electronics, food. Put the rice up there. My life jacket, which I forgot to put on this morning. It's the first thing I should have done. Alright, I keep hitting the buttons on here and shutting off the recorder, so I'll patch this together somehow. I mean, and I'll check with my brother because he was he was a chart plotter when we sailed on the big boat with my father, but that looks like the big can. And I got it in line with this shroud now. That should have been the big can, first marker on the way in. And here's why you always want to keep a watch. I'm assuming that's a fisherman's flag. But Trimaran, I wouldn't want to sail into that. You know? Make a lot of noise, scratch things up. Putting bays on. That's a lousy place to anchor. I can remember what my father said now. If the wind's not out of the west, it's rough in there. The wind's swirling around out of the north. I got up 3 times last night. Readjusted the lines to try to get away from the ball that would go underneath between the hulls and bang into stuff. It was 10 o'clock. I untied and motored over and snagged another one, so at least I had a little bit of north wind coming over what would be Middle Bass Island, so I wasn't sitting there in the swirl pool. What a mess. Alright, here's what's good. I can eat this, and I got a can of vegetable soup. And I can't film and eat at the same time. Got a little bit of a wind hole there for a minute. So I turned on the Simrad, and I got us put a waypoint in for Lorain. I just put my finger on it and held it. I got the instruction book out. I'll never sail the boat enough to learn how to use this thing. And then your steer there, we're dead on course. -1, 2 degrees, 2 positive, 1 positive, right dead on. And there's me. Wind's supposed to switch later. We'll see what happens. This is saying 124 degrees, and I have not corrected this compass for magnetic yet. Well, there's 115. That's about what there's 90, 100, 110. It's off a little bit. But again, I'm seldom out of sight of land, although right now, if I look just to my starboard and port and straight ahead, there is no land. I still see the islands behind me. If there wasn't the smoke and the forest fires in Canada and Montana, you'd probably be able to see. .1, 6.2. Covered 12.85 miles and hour and 57 minutes. So it'll be another 3 hours at least to 4 hours before I get back. I guess I can brush my teeth now since I'm having breakfast. Although I just read the other day you're supposed to brush your teeth before you eat. Suppose you all needed to know that. I am making all kinds of power right now. Up to 3 amps. The batteries are charged. So I got the refrigerator plugged in. I'm going to leave the Simrad running now, and conditions are calming down some. Every once in a while the wind kind of dies off. The nav unit's not having to correct too much, so it's not sucking too much power either. Very comfortable right now. Very, very comfortable. Maybe I'll keep it low. We'll see. Well, just when you think you're going to get home in a decent amount of time, the wind poops out. It comes up once in a while. It's supposed to be 5 to 10 knots. It's not even that now. I'm going to take a look at the sails. I'm learning how to put in my waypoint. I had it and then it went away, so I figured out another way, and then I brought up these instruments that I've had loaded for a long time. 2 years ago. Never used. So I'm off about 10 or 11 or 12 degrees on my real compass. You can see their speed is down like 3 to 4. And this shows my heading and how many degrees I'm off, positive and negative. The time is wrong, not quite sure why. And I'm pretty sure I set my correct time zone, maybe I didn't. And I even get my reading on my battery, which is pretty nice. You can see it vary because the sun was behind the clouds, so I'll have to watch it now. But I got the phone plugged in, I got the radio plugged in. We'll keep an eye on it. There, the wind just picked up. We're back up to 7. I saw 7. Winds have really died off. The main's not doing much. It's more of a higher wind performance sail. I suppose I play with it a little bit here because what I was doing was playing with both jib and jenny. Mark is probably having a heart attack right now. I am flying both the jib and the jenny because there's that little wind. All I did was put some wraps around the winch. And I also, I make a mess of those self-furlers. The amount of retrieve line, which is the small string here, which should go in, versus the number of wraps that you want to make sure that you got a tight furl, because I've had one come unfurled in a little snap squall, and that's just a fiasco up there in the deck fighting that thing. So I think I've seen 2 finger lengths is about how much string for the jenny, and the jib's not quite as particular because it's smaller. And then making sure you don't wind it the wrong way. Oh my God. I'll always be a beginner. Not quite a landlubber, but always a beginner. We're on course, but almost 4 hours in, 20 miles, almost 21 miles covered. Got just a little breeze there, but we've been down to 1.5. I had to stick the motor in to keep the boat moving while I was up on the bow so that the auto steer didn't get lost. Never shot this angle before. The wind has just about died. I mean, it pretty much has died. So I put the motor on too. I'm making plenty of electricity. And I can sit and watch the sails through my hatch. And as you can see, there's nothing going on. And there's these huge swells coming from somewhere. Well, I say huge. 3-4 footers come out of nowhere. I don't know what they're doing over in Canada. Motor sailing. 2.5. You can, I don't know if you can see, but if you look on the water, you can see there's wind, but it's trying to figure out what it wants to do. It's out of the south, so it's coming off the main. It's coming from the United States. But with all this smoke, normally you'd see all the trees, and all you see is like a little gray line on the horizon. So I had the nav unit on one more time to make sure of my course, and it seems that we're okay. You get thrown off out here because as you come out, you get beyond Avon Point, and you can see Cleveland, and it makes you think you're going in the wrong direction. But no, you're pretty much right on course, because Cleveland will disappear as you get closer because it'll tuck in behind Avon Point. See what the wind's going to decide to do. There's a freighter. There's a freighter out of Sandusky or Port Clinton, Catawba, somewhere over there. Maybe it could have been. It could have been from other than the Great Lakes, but pushing a pretty good bow weight. Not sure if you can see that with this little camera. Showing a lot of freeboard, so he's either empty or you're nowhere near full. That's for sure. Well, I'm at Lorain. The wind absolutely quit for 3 hours. I didn't want to film it. It was just freaking depressing. Is that an otter? Oh, it's just a log turning. It looked like an otter head. Yeah, there's where I'm going. So this will be my first night landing. I've got my the bow light on, ran up and did that. And I'm almost out of battery, so I don't want to use the motor. I got here, basically I'm here because of running a motor for 3 or 4 hours. 1.5 miles an hour, 1.6, kind of motor sailing. The jib was able to help every once in a while. I can see the speed difference because of my watch. I can actually look at it and see when the wind blows it would go a little faster. But man, it's been a long day. It's going on 13 hours. Tough on an old guy. So I will not be tearing the boat down tonight because I don't do that in the dark. I'll go in there and try to anchor it. Didn't really pay attention to what the weather was supposed to be. I think it's supposed to rain Thursday. I don't know, tomorrow maybe, but showers. It's clear as a bell today. Luckily, there's some wind right now. Otherwise, I don't know. I got a paddle. This is what happens when you're not burning gasoline. You got to have all kinds of plans and schedules. Throw schedules out the window. All right, back to work. Threw the anchor at 10 o'clock. Finally got a little bit of wind because I need to save the battery on the motor for taking it to the dock tomorrow. I'm at Hot Waters. Talked about that in some of the other videos. There's the lighthouse, the old lighthouse. The other flashing light is the new lighthouse. So I'm going to get something to eat, take a dip in the water to clean off. 13, 14 hour day. It's been a long day. We'll see how it comes out. Bald eagle sitting on that dead spur out there. Steve just called me. His brother's wife, Bobby, just died of cancer. stuck. I got out and put another anchor down because I was dragging that spoon. I had to swim the second anchor out there. I tied the line and then tied the other end of the line to the anchor so I could swim out with 50% of the line and then drag the anchor to me from where I was at, since I had it tied to the top of the anchor. This isn't even the gust. So it's supposed to switch from it went from the south to the southwest already. Midnight tonight is supposed to go to the northwest, but it's not supposed to let up. The problem is, when it was from the south earlier, I can't take a chance going into the launch because this boat weather vanes. That little electric motor, I don't want to take the chance. It's nothing but steel brake wall over there. So I'm just kind of sitting it out. I've got enough food. I would have preferred to have been in already. It's supposed to rain tonight, thunderstorms. It's not going to get any better. We'll see. Maybe when the wind swings around, there'll be a calm. You know, take the chance of wind northwest that way, and you pull your anchors, and all of a sudden you don't have enough motor to hold yourself off those brake walls. All you're going to do is be a day sailor. You won't run into that too much. Even the folks that went out earlier, they're all back in. It's the jib. I did see